Welcome to the Bitcoin Jones channel. Today we're putting two passive platforms up against one another. It's QUBIT.LIFE versus Mirollex. Who will win? Let's find out. And as always, this is not financial advice, so do your research and make sure this is right for you. Now, in the interest of science, we shall judge these two platforms on a number of criteria. Number 1, appearance. Number 2, usability. Number 3, the packages. Number 4, reliability. And finally, number 5, withdrawals. These will be marked out of 5, and then the platform with the most points at the end wins nothing. Well, actually, it wins less than nothing. It wins the Bitcoin Jones seal of approval. Now, there are only two things in this world that have my seal of approval, and that's pizza and my high school crush, Alex. The things we do for love when we're young, dumb, and socially awkward. Sadly, they'll never know that they have the Bitcoin Jones seal of approval. That boat has sailed. Now, enough about my loveless teenage years. Let's fight. Round 1, appearance. Now, let's start with QUBIT.LIFE on this one, and overall, I really like the look and layout of the website, especially the back office. It's bright, colourful, and vibrant, which I really like. It has a nice compact feel to it, which makes it feel like I'm never too far away from where I want to be and view the vital information. It really has a premium feel about it, like there's no expense spared. No time, effort, or money has been wasted in the branding and graphic design of the whole website, and it really follows through onto their social media pages. QUBIT.LIFE in appearance gets 5 out of 5. I even really like the purple. Mirollex on the appearance round doesn't fare quite as well as QUBIT.LIFE, sadly. The front end of the website feels a little more template than QUBIT.LIFE, and it just doesn't have that premium feel to it. It doesn't jump out at me, and it feels rather dull. Actually, dull's kind of a bad word for it. It feels safe. Now, the back office is not my favourite at all. In fact, I've mentioned it far too many times in my videos. I'm really not a fan of the back office. It's clunky, cluttered, and seems like there's just too much going on. So Mirollex gets a 2 out of 5 for appearance. The shining light is the wheel that shows all the plans. I rather like that. Round 2, usability. Now let's give Mirollex a chance to come back fighting with this one. And it's a swing and a miss, unfortunately. It's the back office again, it's killing me. I just find it hard to know which drop-down menu to push, whether the boxes take me anywhere or if they're just for show. And if I was a crypto newbie, I think I would see this layout and just panic. It's tough enough for me, and I've been using the platform for a few months now. Saying that though, I found it really easy to set up my account, set up my BTC wallet address, and really easy to deposit and purchase a plan. So usability for Mirollex gets another 2 out of 5, saved only by how easy it was to deposit and purchase a plan. QUBIT.LIFE, on the other hand, is much more user-friendly, but that doesn't really mean a newbie can come into it and use it instantly either. This one only takes a little bit of getting used to. The deposit process was also much harder than it needed to be, in my opinion, which is always daunting when you're using a website for the first time, let alone if you're a novice crypto enthusiast. The usability comes through easier once you've found your feet, however, and now feels like a breeze to use, whether that's checking out the day's rewards, viewing your network, or adding a wallet. So 3 out of 5 for QUBIT.LIFE. If you're going to want to bring in novices, make sure the deposit is more streamlined. Next up, round 3, the packages. Let's go with the purple corner on this one. The beauty about QUBIT.LIFE is the simplicity of all its packages. Now, I'm not taking into account the corporate or cashback licenses, as I actually have no experience with them. I'm judging this purely on the digital licenses. This is where the comparison between phones could be quite good. QUBIT.LIFE is the iPhone. Really well made, great UI, but very limited on choices. The only choice you get with QUBIT.LIFE isn't really different packages, it's really just how much you can afford to put into it. If you only have one shot at a license, you're only ever going to get back 250% on your investment, and you have to wait at least 4 months for this to happen. This is, of course, discounting referrals as well. So QUBIT.LIFE on this one gets a 3 out of 5 here. Personally, I like having a choice between different benefits from different packages, rather than just having one choice on how much to invest. My Mirollex in this example is the Android phone. It caters for much more than a single package, and while that is overwhelming to some people, for me it works so much more. There are varying shapes, sizes and lengths which can cater for different types of investors, and the thing it has over QUBIT.LIFE is that you can invest in BTC and ETH. The limits are a bit wild on this one, so you have to be a bigger gun to enter, but for someone looking to multiply their BTC holdings, this is a much better option than QUBIT.LIFE. It's also really nice not having to wait 4 months to get back your ROI. Mirollex gets a 4 out of 5 for this one. It would be great if the minimum BTC and ETH investments were a little more friendly to the little guys like me. When the smallest amount of USD you can deposit is $100, that's kind of achievable. However, when it's 0.025 BTC as a minimum, that's me out. Okay, after 3 rounds, let's look at the scores. With 11 points we have QUBIT.LIFE, and trailing behind with 8 points is Mirollex. It's still all to play for as we head into round 4. Round 4, reliability. Obviously these views are relevant at the time of making this video. Let's start with Mirollex on this one. I've been with Mirollex for about half of the time that I've been with QUBIT.LIFE, but nonetheless I've had 0 issues with Mirollex so far. I had my doubts at the very beginning. I was rightfully skeptical, which one must be with all platforms in the space, but I have successfully completed one cycle with Mirollex, and it went just as intended. Both times that I deposited cash into the platform, the funds are working for me the very next day. No excuses. Their rewards are like clockwork, and they have never missed one to this date. I've never had the website been down for maintenance, nor has it produced an error 404. So with that in mind, Mirollex gets a 5 out of 5 for reliability. Over to QUBIT.LIFE. I'm really pleased to say that QUBIT.LIFE has also never once missed a daily payment. I've not been in the platform for long enough to regain my ROI back just yet, but it has been as solid as a rock. I have, however, seen the website down for maintenance and unavailable for periods of time. However, this really hasn't impacted me at all, other than trying to log in, seeing it was down and then coming back later. Now, I've heard rumours that QUBIT.LIFE will be dropping their monthly rewards from 25% to 21%, and whilst I appreciate that you have to ebb and flow with the movements of the markets, it makes me question things slightly. Only because this means that to get to the magical number of 250% profit, we now have to wait a year instead of the estimated 10 months, which in the grand scheme of things isn't terrible, but it takes QUBIT.LIFE from a 5 out of 5 down to a 4 out of 5 for reliability. Now, on to the final round. The scores are 15 to 13 in favour of QUBIT.LIFE, running into the final round, round 5, withdrawals. Now, in comparison with how many withdrawals I've done with both platforms, the scales tip in favour of QUBIT.LIFE. To date, I've done 11.5 withdrawals, half a point because I still have one pending at the moment, and all of them have hit my BTC wallet, which is indeed a fact. I've not had a single payment go missing. The same can also be said for Mirollex, granted I've only done a single withdrawal. The Mirollex withdrawal was incredibly simple and fast. They process withdrawals during work hours only, and sadly, I was a little too late to withdraw this last time, so I don't know if the process is quicker during those hours, but with that being said, I withdrew from Mirollex at 9 PM one evening and had the funds in my wallet at 7 AM the next day. Sadly, the fastest withdrawal I've had from QUBIT.LIFE has been around 48 hours, so speed goes to Mirollex. How about fees? Well, Mirollex also wins that battle as well. Mirollex does not charge you to withdraw your funds, nor does it limit the amount you can withdraw, nor does it limit the number of times you can withdraw per day. So Mirollex gets another few body blows in there on QUBIT.LIFE. Now, with QUBIT.LIFE on the ropes, Mirollex winds up for another knockout blow, but the referee rings the bell and the match is over. Both platforms battled brilliantly, but there was not a KO victory for either website, so we have to go to the judges and their final scores. In this last round, due to its fees, speed and withdrawal limitations, QUBIT.LIFE scores a 3 out of 5 for this round, taking their points to a very respectable 18 out of 25. Mirollex currently sits at 13 points, so unfortunately it cannot win this hard-fought battle. However, it can pull victory from the teeth of the purple powerhouse by scoring a perfect 5 out of 5. And you know what, fight fans? It has done it! Mirollex scores 5 out of 5 for withdrawing. In my experience, it's fast, easy, and free of any fees. That makes it a 5 out of 5 in my books, taking this humble competitor up to 18 points and securing the draw. Neither platform has run away with this one today, which stands at testament to both of these worthy contenders. Whew, wasn't that exciting, ladies and gents? With all that being said, these are just my views on the two platforms. Every user will have a much different experience with them, so I'd recommend giving them both a try if you can. But all in all, just like people and their phones, some will just love the ease and simplicity of QUBIT.LIFE. However, that doesn't mean there isn't a market for those that like to try different plans and work out what works best for them. Mirollex gives the users flexibility to try out multiple plans at different lengths, which could suit them far better. If you have any further questions on either platform, please feel free to leave them in the comments down below. Also, if you don't mind, please like and subscribe to my channel. I really want to hit 400 subs before the end of February. Links for both QUBIT.LIFE and Mirollex are down below in my link tree if you feel they warrant further investigation. Alright, thanks for watching, I'll see you next time.